Welcome to Ride the Wave, hosted by me, Jeff Fisher, and co-hosted by Mark Robinson, in partnership with the Ride the Wave Foundation. Visit us at ridethewave.org, where we're dedicated to empowering their lives through free resources in servant leadership, mental health wellness, and how to find a purpose. At Ride the Wave, we believe in the power of every story, talent, and voice. Our commitment is clear: to bridge divides, unite communities, and build an all-inclusive, modern campus for those experiencing homelessness. So let's dive in and ride the wave of positive change together. Hey everyone, hope all is well. Thanks for joining us and riding the wave with me and Mark Robinson. Mark, what's happening?
What's going on, Jeff?
Not much. How you doing, my friend?
Cool.
Good. With us today is a familiar face you may recognize. Excited that he's back. It's Tatum, and Tatum is a friend. He was a linebacker. He played football for Somerville High. While he was there, he went all-state. Very talented at spoken word. Word master. Really happy he's back, like I said. And also, he is the executive director for a charity called PERC. Thank you for coming by.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to have you.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. So Tatum, I had a question. How did you get into spoken word? Like, were you taught, or was it something that you learned on your own?
Well, I always been into like music and hip hop music, so it probably started as me either writing poetry or writing rap songs, with my cousins or my friends. We were maybe like 6th grade, 7th grade when we started, writing things down and our own, putting it towards instrumentals and everything, whether we were just home or whether we just, rapping over someone else's beat, whatever. It was just something that, like way back in 90s, 92, you had like Chi Lee out there, Belle Biv DeVoe was big, but, we wanted no singers, so we just, write our words down and just, go back and forth, cracking on each other, just having fun, But yeah, it just got more and more serious. As I got older, I had more things to talk about, and it kind of just like went into that direction.
Cool. How long you been doing spoken word?
Well, I've been writing since probably I was about like I said, 6th grade. So you're talking about like 10 years old, 11 years old. I've been, yeah.
Nice. We were talking in the car, and you had said that in the past you've done some, not I guess, open mics or things like that. Do you have any plans to do anything else coming up?
Not as of now. I mean, we just pretty much just go to local studios, whatever. I know, my sons right now, they're the writers right now. I mean, I haven't really written a lot of things lately.
Oh, really?
But yeah, my sons, they're on it like every day, every weekend. They're in the studio, like, so. I mean,
so they take it serious, a family. Yeah. You've inspired.
Absolutely.
And hopefully you being on the last time too.
Oh yeah,
added to that.
They definitely enjoyed it. Like, I mean, a lot of people really enjoyed it. A lot of family members, went on to my Facebook or went to the Instagram, and they saw the content on there, and then they actually watched the whole video, and then they'd come back to me and like, "Oh, you did such an awesome job, great job." I was getting messages or comments from people I haven't heard from in a while, but they took the time to watch the whole thing. Some of them have actually watched it 5-10 times. So yeah. You
always have an open seat.
You're a lot of praise.
Yeah, yeah, and you're definitely somebody that I have an affinity for too, because it was really the first comments that we've gotten from the show, and really the first time we got even 100 views or more was because it was yours.
Absolutely.
Too, and it just I really like spoken word a lot. So I'd love to hear some if you want. Just to hear some of the stuff that you have. I know that you said you have a plethora of spoken word material. And
did you see any of the words on the board in there? I saw you looking at that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I was looking at it too.
Is that what you do? Does your mind go like that? Like when
Yeah.
you're around, do you look at certain things to tie in words? You know, is that how you operate?
Absolutely. Everything is operation through like the tools God has given you. You know, you use your eyes, you use your ears, you know, and you just could kind of combine it and develop your own story with it.
Right.
You know, so it just kind of works that way, you know.
But you looking at the poster or something like that, when you see that, in your mind, does it tie into maybe a memory or something else? Or have you gotten to the point with the skill so much because you've done it for so long where it just naturally starts to, like, you enter in different spaces creatively where you can go back? Or, you know, I guess, is that something that eventually somebody could just find their way through their particular style if they keep doing it?
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of like that board that was out there. I have a shower curtain at home. It just has like positive words on it. You know, it tells you like, today's a good day. Today, to have a great day. You know, like stay positive and always be awesome. Like, so it's like, you know, just sitting there, I can just go into the bathroom, I can read just positive words. So I just try to take a lot of negative and just not deal with it at all.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's interesting.
I'm kind of like that with art in the visual sense. I'm saying like right now, I can like look around the room, and every place that I go, I see something that'll catch my attention, and then I would try to like incorporate it with my sketches and whatever towards.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yep.
I think for me, creatively, visualizing certain visions, maybe when it comes to business or the foundation, and I enjoy doing that, sort of taking thoughts, ideas, or visions, and then putting them into presentations and presenting them with the company. That to me is, I think, the way I create and things like that. So not paint or, you know, anything like that, but there's many ways, I think, to be creative.
Yeah.
And to, you know, for art or things like that.
Yeah. How they say, what's the saying? It's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Possibilities, you know, like there's
Endless.
so many different possibilities. Not everyone's going to do it the same way.
Right.
You know, and not everyone's going to like it the way that you do it. So, but it's like just the possibilities of it being out there, you know, just,
What do you got? You want to?
can change your life.
Yeah. Okay, you wrote it down? Were you ever written down this time?
Yeah, this one is written down. I mean, because like I said, I probably wrote these a long time ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one says, what's the need of gaining knowledge if you don't share it? What's the need of even having a soul without a spirit? What's the use of having ears if you don't hear it? You only got one life to live. It's how you wear it. Asking questions is another type of protection. We should all try to learn and live with less aggression. That's a lesson. But here's the message. I'm only saying, living in the world delaying with facts, y'all all playing. And I get it. You want to live it bigger and badder. You can't kill your own and sit and act like Black Lives Matter. And you laughing. We lose enough people alone to natural disasters, to prison walls, poor decisions, and bad calls. If the Lord pulled the carpet out now, we'd all fall. Is there a message for the world or a message to Black people? If they live in like a plus one, how is that equal? Understand, there is no perfect person, but many different ways to be good people.
I like that one. I like that.
Life and how you wear it.
How you wear it.
How you wear it.
How you wear it.
That was interesting. The spirit. So that, I mean, it seems like with spoken word in general, you could really speak about anything.
Yeah.
No subjects off
No subject.
limits.
None.
Almost comedy, not the art of comedy, where you can incorporate certain things that normally would be, but you're getting a message across that's really important. And what better way to do something like that or teach people how to do it and express themselves. If you were just like a stressed out younger person or something, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you didn't know how to express yourself, something like spoken word, I think would be a great thing to get into or learn or take classes. Do you ever teach it?
Yes. I mean, well, I haven't taught it per se. I mean, but I've helped, you know, like help my sons to figure out what they want to write about, to put it into a certain format, to have your last line follow your next line and have it make sense.
Yeah. Could you explain it to me as if we were sitting down for the first time and like I was a 4-year-old and you're just like, all right, to start out, how would the process take place there? So would I write something that comes to mind and you said skip a line. So it just really is going with the flow of the page and then looking back and then maybe connect another word or something like that? Or is it?
Yeah. Or another thought, you know, maybe a different way of looking at it. Like you say, it's just a bunch of wordplay. So you can put words and maybe even say them backwards because then someone else would say it just because the way it plays out, you know.
Right.
So if you know what you're going to talk about, you then put other words around getting to the point, but not going direct to saying it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I could listen to that just the whole time. But yeah, that's really cool. Nice.
Yeah. Like the last time I didn't get to tell you guys this one, but when I saw you in the building, you know, I got to tell you. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm able to curse, but I mean, someone had like
you can
1 or 2 curse words in it, but
no, absolutely. You're able to say whatever you want.
Yeah. Okay. Asking questions is normal. If not knowing is your other option. You see how that works, though?
I get it.
Yeah, because you're basically calling out what option. Wait, say it one more time because now I just got confused in my head.
Asking questions is normal. If not knowing is your other option.
Right. All right. So you're clearly right. So instead of saying it's really good, because I've been telling, I told you guys that recently, right? Alex too. One of the like advice that I had or pointers, if anything, I think is especially for young people with artificial intelligence, the art of knowing how to ask good questions. Just putting yourself out there, whether you think they're stupid or not. But me just saying that, it doesn't really hold much weight. It's like, you know, somebody could say, unless you experience something and go through it. That is a different way of putting it that I think makes more sense creatively.
Yeah. It's like eliminating so many different options that there are. You're just making it like it's only 2. You're either asking a question or you don't know the answer.
Yeah, you're not being direct. You're lifting the hood.
If you want to know the answer, then you're going to ask the question. But you're either asking the questions or you just don't know the answer. But asking questions is normal.
Right.
If not knowing is your other option.
Right. And then think about it, like you have that impulse, or maybe you think, all right, I have a question right now. You're in class somewhere like that. And then you get a little nervous or afraid and you don't ask. It's something that you won't know. And a lot of my experience, because man, I've been doing it. I've asked stupid questions. I've also had some embarrassing moments like throughout my entire life in like social situations, because I never cared. Like I just would just say things but what I have noticed, even if it is a question that I think other people may think might be stupid, it does start to spark up, or other people start to say things. And even though, I don't know, the conversation starts to go, because a lot of things like closing sales on my end are through dialogue and conversation, maybe even sometimes disagreements, things like that. So yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So asking questions is normal. If not knowing is your other option. So you should ask what you don't know and not stop it. Using your brain to solve things is called logic. But someday on your way, you're going to realize everybody don't got it. You need to form an equation, subtract and add to your basics. And if you don't know the basics, then maybe you shouldn't say shit. Your brain is a powerful thing. It's nothing to play with. It's out there to go get and absorb what you need to eliminate bullshit. And get this, with 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 2 lips, Don't be surprised how much information bullshitters do get.
I love that one. I love that one.
I like that.
If you're not establishing the basics or a foundation or a base, you leave yourself susceptible to believing everything you hear.
Absolutely.
Believing bullshit.
Believing the BS. And also, yeah, I mean, there's another portion of that I was thinking that I can't remember. But yeah, that I like that. Can you do that one more time, but quicker?
Yeah.
All right.
Asking questions is normal if not knowing is your other option. So you should ask what you don't know and not stop it. Using your brain to solve things is called logic, but someday on your way, you're going to realize that everybody don't got it. You need to form an equation, subtract and add to your basics. And if you don't know the basics, then maybe you shouldn't say shit. Your brain is a powerful thing. It ain't nothing to play with. It's out there to go get and absorb what you need to eliminate bullshit. And get this, with 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 2 lips, don't be surprised how much information bullshitters do get.
Yeah, the point I was going to make before, the thought was that proactive, being careful what you talk about.
Yeah.
You know, because that just letting your mouth go, just spitting out the words just mindlessly and things like that.
You can be surrounded by a bunch of those people too. Like, just talking just to be talking. Like,
yeah. And also not really looking under the hood and just, like you had kind of alluded to, receiving information without any details and things like that. So if you're just somebody that is watching whatever algorithm comes to your phone, news-wise or whatever, resources, things like that, then you're going to have those opinions. You're going to reinstate those. But if they're not if they're just things that are not true, or they represent one side or another, you're like, your information is just spewing out. It's not because you're unfiltered. I mean, that's what I get out of it when I hear it.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think, Mark?
I get that if it really don't matter where you are, basically, if you don't know something, if you don't know the basics of something or anything,
you really got not much to say. There's not much you can really say.
Don't say shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
if you don't ask a question, you won't know. You know what I'm saying? If you ask a question, you will know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it ties in.
How they say, knowing is half the battle.
Yeah.
And it's depending on how you're going to use your basics or whatever. But that's why I say that add and subtract, because there's new things that you learn, and there's going to be old things that you don't want to do in your life anymore.
Yeah.
Like we was talking about road rage on the way here. He's like, I can't be acting like that. I can't do that. Like there's certain things that you just know that you just have to eliminate from your life. Like you just don't want to live that way no more. So, you're going to add and you're going to be able to subtract some things or whatever to get yourself in order. Like, because that's all that's really going to matter when it boils down is like, how do you feel about yourself?
Right. Certain things you used to act on when you were younger growing up, now you just let it roll off.
Just let it
slide off.
You do.
I've done that for years. I let a lot of things slide, and a lot of people say and done. It's crazy.
Yeah, and creating your algorithm or your style. And I've said it a bunch of times on the show because I really do believe it. It's proactive. It's seek and you shall find. So having an understanding of what your talents might be or what your interests are, and then figuring out your style. Like you figured out the way you could write spoken word. You know the way you could paint and do certain things and, in your life, and I with business or things like that in my life. But yeah, I mean, I think that if somebody's not doing that, they do leave themselves susceptible to not really get into, and the deeper you go, I think it turns into something good. Like through all the muck and all the mess, there is a light in the end of the darkness when you explore yourself.
Yeah.
Might take some time. There's going to be some bumps in the road. It's going to be
No
weird.
one says it's going to be easy. I mean, so.
It's all about how you get to that light.
But it's fun too. I like sitting there reading and doing a workbook after. Like you find a rhythm to it eventually. You know, it's not an uphill battle or anything. I don't feel like, oh, I dread this. I've incorporated so much in my routine every day that it's just natural.
Yeah.
To do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And, you know, it's just like that, you know, because there's certain things like the add and subtract, and once you like add it to your life, now it's like, it's there. But now you have to use it. Now you put it into effect. Now you make this an action, you know, because you've added to your life. I tell a lot of people that I hang around with, like, do not let other people determine how you are going to feel. If you're going to mess yourself up every time, if you're going to sit there and let what they think determine how you're going to feel, yeah, you're going to find yourself upset, depressed, angry.
It's so tough to implement. It's amazing too. Like some of the most simple principles are difficult
for others.
High level, they'll look, even for me, sometimes I'll look at it and like want to do something, know that I'll have to change, do it in increments, and then fall off the wagon. It's just, it's not easy. But I think that that's important to understand too, that it's not a perfection thing. The pursuit of perfection is not, you'll never be that.
There's no one.
So it doesn't have to be everything that you do perfect every day. The purpose of it is to be a little bit scattered out first.
To be the best that you can be. You know, like I told you guys before, like we're all just here to be better people. Like, but we all have to work at that. It's not like someone's perfect and we have this example to follow by, whatever, because if we would have seen it already. Someone would have figured it out, but we sit there and we're just bettering ourselves to be a better person, not the better person, but a better person. I
think there's some complacency in the country, and laziness.
Oh yeah.
And then, you know, ungratefulness at times, complaining about a lot of things that don't really affect the person yet. The person that is, you know, so emotional over complaining about things that they don't have and things like that. Have food on the plate. Usually parents are like, everybody has situations, but the victim mentality is something that I can't relate to, you know, at this point, because I also feel like I've been through a lot in my life. You know, I'm sure you have too. I mean, look at on the last episode when we were diving into your life and things like that. Just you had such that opportunity with football, and things like that. So for you to be able to have this mentality now, after prison and things like that, I think it's great, Tatum. I really do.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man, it's a great thing to have, man. Great thing to have.
Yeah, I mean, like when I talk to other people, you know, same thing. You know, it's like you're living your legacy. You know, so you're gonna show them exactly what you want them to see, because they're gonna see something else, which is maybe you don't think it's true, or maybe it's somewhat true about you. Like, you know, some people can go around like and just say, Mark, you know what? You can be such a dick sometimes. And you're like, I know, you know, but you're like, like, well, or you can be like, no, I don't agree with that. But whatever it is that, you know, you have inside you, that is the legacy that you're leaving for them to see. You know, so if you don't agree with that, or if you do feel like, you know, well, maybe I am a dick sometime. You know what? If you don't want to be known for being a dick, then stop being a dick.
Right.
But I also think trying to be somebody that you're not and speak that way and, you know, want to seek perfection and things like that, or like you have a legacy and it's not really you, or something you're trying to pursue that you want. And that could be there could be an insecurity there. I had that when I was younger.
Absolutely.
Too. You know, that insecurity of like, I got to go here and I got to act a certain way. And then I may say something embarrassing and then like get embarrassed and be upset that I didn't really do what I should have or planned out with high expectations. You know, I think in time people grow out of that, but when it's aligned, but when it gets aligned with your spirit through seeking and you find a purpose, bro, nothing better.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. not that I've ever come across. If you find something, by all means,
I mean,
Tatum, let me know. Bring it to me because I haven't.
Like the gratification of seeing your final work, it's like almost like landscapers, like you sit there and they'll cut the grass and they have all these lines and circles around the tree, and as soon as they're finished, they turn around and they look at their work.
Yeah,
you're supposed to.
They turn around and look at their work and like, wow, that's a great job. But that's kind of like how you want to do with your life, too. You want to sit there and keep getting better and keep molding yourself into this person that you're happy with. When you look into the mirror, you're like, that's the guy I like.
Do you want to speak life or do you want to speak out death? Because words are that impactful.
Words can be both.
Yeah.
Man, if you,
both.
Perfect example is Daryl.
If you let
every
it,
time.
words can really hurt you.
Yeah, they can.
If you let somebody say certain words to you and you're the type of person to not be able to handle what somebody says to you, then you'll be messed up.
Yeah, and it's a fact because
you'll be messed up.
Daryl's a perfect example of that. Daryl, the catalyst, a wave, he was there in that van for a few days and nobody approached him. And this was right across where I would ride a bike growing up. And it was sad to me after. But because my one word for the year was encourage, and, I checked up on him, looking him straight in the eyes. You're going to be fine. Keep pushing. Don't give up. Nobody, what person would you just approach somebody on the street, look at him in the eyes like a friend, and just encourage him? Think about how that can make somebody feel. There could be somebody right in line at Starbucks considering suicide right now. Depression, you would never know it. But if you went up to that person, you engage with them, and you show them some kindness, because that's the problem.
That is.
It's us.
That is.
It's you and me standing around, not speaking to each other, not engaging like we're not human beings. And I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes I got to go where I got to go. And
people had so much more compassion than they show.
Compassion,
for real, or maybe even empathy, like for real, just because other people are going through things. Like right now, we're sitting here in a small room, and it's just us three. But if you go up maybe 10,000 miles, and we're in this big parking lot, there's maybe 3,000 people now we're looking at, and people are going through different things.
Yeah, there was it was a story I heard somewhere. It was on the subway where there was kids running around and the father was with the kids, and the woman really nasty went up to the guy, hey, like your kids are running around with a wheel, and the mother passed away. So he was sad and so right. And Sean McManus mentioned instead of being mad that you're not getting your cup of coffee, shows some compassion because that person may be going through something in their lives that it's just we disconnect. And I think when it comes to service too, right? You go to the store, someone's at the register, it's so mechanical. We have a lot of ways that we're just, I think, too transactional. Too transactional too. What do you think, Mark?
It's like you go into a place, going to Starbucks or something like that, and you go to order your coffee, and the person that you're talking to behind the counter, like, not everybody, but you can, for me, I can automatically see like something like I can sense that they're going through something because of their demeanor, their attitude.
Yeah, you can read people's vibes. From far off.
Right. Like you can feel it before you even see the person. Me personally, I feel things more than I'm saying. I see.
Yeah, you've said that before on the show that you have like strong feelings and like a sense. I think your spirit has like a sensitivities.
Yeah.
To like
people always tell me is my energy. Yeah. People are drawn to my energy.
We do have for me, because like even in the car, I don't stop sometimes. I'm so like much more high energy and blah, blah, blah. But like you definitely weigh me down. Not in a bad way. I mean, not weigh me down is not the right word, but like anchor that because you're so laid back. Yeah, it's like we're very different like that.
Yeah, me and my sister kind of like that too. I mean, but she tells me all the time, that she's so happy to have someone like me in her life.
Yeah, you're a good guy.
I humble her out, like, like not make her better, but I just humble her out and like make her see it in a different way. Like, just a lot of people, I wish a lot of people had more like common courtesy you know,
Right.
just to have the like.
Yeah, could you imagine if people talked all the time like we were just friends, knew each other? If you were going in line and just sparked up conversations, it's fun for me to meet new people. I enjoy it. I mean, I get it. There's people that are not, they're more not as social or, you know, but I don't know. It took getting through fears and stuff. I wasn't always Mr. Social. I don't know. You just got to put yourself out there. What do you have to lose anyway? So what the heck's it, Mark, what the heck's it different? You're going to sit, play video games. You're going to be afraid of your life the whole time, be depressed, take it anyway, and amount to nothing. If it's a video game everywhere, you know you're going to die anyway. Why not just go balls to the wall and try to reinvent the wheel and just, you know, go for it. I mean, really, it can't be worse than that.
You're right about that. I mean, and it is worse in some places, you know, for real. Like, we have so much to be grateful for. That's like, you know, even like the common courtesy thing and saying like we can notice things a far way off. Like, you ever like walk into a room and someone can see you coming in that direction, but they wait till you get about 2 feet and say, oh, excuse me, but you saw me coming 30 yards away.
Right,
50 feet away, you saw me coming this direction.
Right.
But you're going to wait till I get right here to act like, oh, you're going this way? Yes, I'm going this way. But I have the common courtesy to sit there and acknowledge that, you know? You see, you can see that, and sometimes using your eyes, you can see that from afar. Is it because, you wanted to have a problem with me? Or did you really not see me? Because
Javon, he had said, I thought it was interesting, maybe not in these words, but that hell was people not knowing who they are, sort of wandering around quite like that. Lost souls. And I almost like, you know, they say sometimes you can create, or there's heaven or hell on earth. It really is that choice. Yeah. And that like how your perspective is and what you're going to see, you could view it as such on both angles. And I think this is a good time if you got any other material right now. I think right now spoken word needs to be coming through. You got anything else? You got anything else to segue? Or you just want to hey, you haven't done it in a while. I want to freestyle, or you don't think it would, yeah, whatever you're feeling, man. And you could drop it if I'm like putting pressure on you. Don't worry about it.
No, I mean, it's fine. I got this song I wrote. It's called Given Time. But it was more like, not like in time things will change. It's like, wake up for, you know, if you're out there, you're selling drugs, they're giving time. If you're out there and you're shooting guns, they're giving time. I mean, sometimes just, you know, in the world we live in, like you're just out there just being a black man, they're giving time. You know, so it's like, we got these young boys hustling, swearing they caking. You got these young girls smoking like they parents Jamaicans. When the beef cook, they already know you be baking, and you saying that you the realest, knowing you faking. You think I write these rhymes so I can just blow up and shine? There's a message between these lines. They giving time. Like,
are you done?
No. I mean, yeah. Well, it's more to it, but it's like an awakening. You know, like for real. Like you sit there and you do so many things in the street, whatever. They're gonna give you time, and then you know people they'll have a fear of going to jail because they think one thing is going to happen. It's like, but you're causing all this stuff on the outside while you're free to get yourself in that position in the first place. You know, you're scared to go to jail because you think they're going to shank you. In the streets, they're going to shoot you. You're going to keep acting like a fool. And I see jail is in your future. Like, and you can run and you can go free and be a runner. But when you see the judge, he's giving out touchdown numbers. And you doing a field goal before you seeing parole. And you keep that attitude in jail and you seeing the hole. Watch your mouth. Or keep it up if you be maxing that out. But you's trying hard to be everything but yourself. And you keep listening to these people that's saying it's nothing really. Those be the same people that be back by January.
Yeah. You know, the time is interesting. Their exchange for time. So like your actions, and if you looked at currency as time, your time on earth is precious, right? I mean, that time that you spend where you want to go, family, friends, and things like that, your time is being spent based on what you say. So, or do your actions. They're going to take your time if you have actions that are,
they're going to take your time.
if you're going to be taken from people, if you're going to be robbing, stealing, selling drugs, doing things that cause death and cause negativity, there's a price to be paid. What worries me, because I do think that certain laws do need to be enforced. There's definitely laws that need to go away. But us not holding certain people accountable, being way too loose and not enforcing laws could really cause a lot of chaos on the streets, man. And it concerns me.
Issue with that's a big issue with me too, because sometimes like I say personally, like these guys, they go out and they'll shoot up middle schools and shoot up elementary schools. And I'm like, well, why are we even letting them go to a trial? If it was my decision, you got 3 days. You get 3 days in case anybody wants to come see you to say goodbye, because on Friday, you're out of here. And it has to be some accountability and some consequences. Some of the consequences are not big enough to where it's like, the next man is going to do it. The next man is going to do it. If you put that guy in the chair in 3 days, I guarantee you somebody else would think about going to shoot up a school.
And I'll give you an example. And I wonder sometimes, looking back, it sucked at the time when I was young, but looking back, I wonder how much of it played a part or a role in me not going to a level where I could have really got addicted or done some things like that, gone the wrong path. When I was young, it was under the influence, getting arrested as a misdemeanor for that. And I think I was smoking in a car. Maybe we had a bong in the car, smoking in a car, hotboxing it, got arrested for that. And then I think it was 17 and kicking down mailboxes with friends. We were like out partying. It was like vandalism, things like, but the thing is though, they were scaring us at that time because if you look at our records, we're pretty good kids. We're having fun. We weren't vicious. We weren't like going out trying to really hurt people or anything like that. It was more partying, having fun, and doing stupid things. But them cracking down on us caused that fear of, and then seeing my mom across the table as I was like being rude to a cop one time, scared the daylights out of me, man. And it really was, and I was like, I don't want to go down this road. Now, if I did not have that, police did not enforce it then, it was loose, would I have had that fear instilled in me? Or would I have continued? So I could be a perfect example right now of the justice system working. I think that they should scare kids when they do things like that. And maybe we are too loose with a lot of different things. And
Absolutely.
That's why they have those shows out called, what is it?
Scared Straight.
Scared Straight. Scared Tactics. Scared Straight. First 5 days in first 5 days in prison. Crazy. And they kids all be crying,
begging to go.
I've seen those shows.
Begging to get out of there.
Begging.
I mean, and that's like the reality of it. I mean, and then it's like, but once you get home, it's like you have to adjust some of the things in your life because you go back to the same people, you're gonna go back to the same things. You know, you're gonna keep that same cycle going. You know, so some people
actually keep that same that cycle going. That's crazy.
And some people want to. I mean, I've sat there and when I went to prison, you ask some of these guys like, "Well, how many times you been in prison?" "Oh, yeah, this is like my 4th bid," and I'm like, "How do you guys keep coming back here? Are you crazy?"
Some people,
I cannot. It makes no sense to me how you keep coming back to somewhere that you really don't want to be. It's like insane. Like it's insanity.
Right. Some people, sadly, like once they get exposed to like, I would say the prison system, and once they go behind those bars, some people, for some apparent reason, they like going back because I guess it's like. When you do so much time behind bars, you come out into society, you don't know what to do. You don't know how to cope.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like when you're in prison, yeah, you get told what to do, but you get told what to do when you're out here on the streets too.
Do you think also too their friends could be there, or if it's a gang member, that when in prison there could be certain protections, and also with somebody that might not have the means or be on the streets, and at least you're going to get a meal there.
Yeah,
at least you're going to get more structure.
Right. That's why when they come home,
they don't have that.
They like that
structure.
They don't have structure, but it's not their fault. They don't have the structure. If you're born,
well, it is.
Well,
it is
somewhat is their fault.
Well, if I'm born right now, my father is in a gang and he's a drug dealer. My uncle is. My brother is as well. It's like a family that comes in, they're all doctors or something, and they're all teachers, whatever that is. And I'm in a particular area, I'm much more likely to follow what my family is raising me on and who my friends are and where I end up going. So I think that in some cases it's more likely for, or it's harder for some people to not go that route.
Right.
If they're right in the middle of it like that.
Yeah,
it's almost like dealt a bad hand right off the bat.
I mean, and even with all of that, it doesn't mean that you actually like that lifestyle either.
Right.
You know, like,
yeah, I understand.
You know,
Like
for real.
you
because they seem to love it so much, or it's successful for them, or
what do you think it is? Just everybody fronting on each other the whole time, faking toughness, and they're like scared
I
inside?
said that before. I was like, if you're not being real, then you are faking.
Yeah.
Don't give yourself too many other options, because you're either being real or you're faking.
When you were in prison and were you doing stuff like that, what you just said? And if so, did you change anybody's lives there?
Absolutely. I mean,
Nice,
when
man.
I was in the prison, I actually did a program called Project Pride, to where we would go around to like different middle schools and different high schools, and and I would kind of sit down and do what I'm doing right now, and tell them how I was an athlete in high school, I had opportunities to do this and do that, but I made some choices, and this is where I ended up. And it can happen to anyone, just not making the right choices. Like my mom used to tell me all the time, like, what people don't do out of love, they'll do out of fear.
Yeah.
So it's like,
if there's anyone out there that is a teacher, I know some teachers that would think that they could benefit from anything Tatum teach. And PERC, I think if you're cool with it, come back and we can dig into PERC more.
Absolutely.
Just the foundation, the charity.
Absolutely.
About like what it is, maybe a little bit of the structure, things like that. So if there's anybody in the audience that would want you to come in and teach kids, because I think it's great.
Absolutely.
I think you could reach a lot of people. When we do the training program and we go through that process, we're looking to include Tatum as well into doing some of the classes as a flow to it. So you coming on, me doing some courses, Mark coming on, and then, because I think your style could help people and it needs to be out there. So
I appreciate that.
It would be a blessing. It's like that's a great thing, which I love about something like this, to be able to, we would never have really met prior. We would have done our thing, walked past, and that would have been it. But you're so talented, and I would have never known that. I'll never be the same. So like it's a blessing to be in a position to be able to help people out, to showcase that and to show other people and be like, hey, listen, does anybody need a teacher like that to go in and talk to kids? And then when we, June 22nd, when we do the mural, Mark and I, and we partner with New Jersey Be the Change, New Jersey. We're also looking to connect Tatum to Dr. Bo as well.
Okay.
And get you guys on a call to see about maybe scheduling something, if it makes sense, to teach the kids.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Tatum, I got a question for you. If it's okay with you, one day, one of the places where you do spoken word or where you teach kids at, would you allow me one day to go with you to teach kids or people, like your group of kids that you teach and work with? Would you allow me to go in and show them about art?
Definitely.
And probably do a mural at,
because it's that's perfect, because that's exactly what you would want, the things to happen. Like, there's so many different arts, like you can come in and you can teach the drawing part and the painting part, and there's someone else that can come in and maybe teach the cooking part. There's someone else that can come in and teach maybe a cosmetology part, and teach people how to take care of their hair, take care of their skin, take care of, I mean, and then there's just so many different avenues that you can take, and sometimes people don't even realize that they're that interested in certain things until they actually try them.
Right.
Right.
So.
And you could team up and give an option for the kids, say, or do both, because I think there's value in both. But if kids were more leaning towards painting, they can go to the painting section, or they can go to yours, or yours first and then the painting probably would be better. Because I wouldn't want anybody to miss yours, or yours, because see, that's another thing, right? Even like some of your stuff, if you ever had content we put on ours, vice versa, it's a great way to just bring people in to their causes and things like that, and guest relationships on the back end, and we're trying to leverage that to be able to do that, which is nice.
Yeah, it is.
And it's all the relationships that we're forming would hopefully help when we get to the campus too. So it's nice. And then definitely you have a spot there.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. I mean, I enjoy coming in and talking with you guys, and telling, things that's on my mind, things that's in my heart, because I mean, life is short, and and more the more you know, so.
Yeah. Is there anything you feel lately that's important for you to get out here with this platform, whether it's another verse or just anything that's been on your heart or mind lately?
I think it's important for people to get to know themselves, like without all the faking or all the background noise, like take accountability and learn to accept who you are.
Right.
And get to know yourself and know the things that you like about yourself, know the things that you don't like about yourself, and be honest, because not all things are good things, like not all money is good money, not all people are good people, it just works that way.
Do you have a way to start a process to start to birth that out through spoken word or your teaching?
Well, I mean, I believe it all starts with, like I said, the tools God has given you.
Right.
Like, you use your eyes and you use your ears, you're going to use your nose, you're going to use your hands, and then you're going to apply it to life, and you're going to get better at it. Like you don't just come out and become Walter Payton. You got to practice football. Like, you don't just come out and you're an Allen Iverson. You got to practice basketball.
Yeah. So action.
So the action, it starts with your thoughts, so it's changing of your mind, your thoughts, you get your thoughts, whatever, and then your thoughts, you put them into action, and then your actions, you kind of make those your habits of how you live, and then you take those habits and it falls right into your lifestyle. But you start with the thought, and then you turn into actions. Your actions become the habits, your habits become your lifestyle.
Right. Yeah, I love
that. The life we have here on earth, you can make your life heaven or hell.
It's true.
Is at the end of the day is your choice. How you want to live your life. You want to live your life as close to heavenly as possible, or do you want to go to the alternative?
I think so. Yeah. It is a choice. I think a good way is through writing, just even writing who you want to be and who you don't want to be, to start listing the things that you don't like about yourself and the things that you do, and then maybe asking like if it's something that you want to improve. At least this is what I do. I'll say like what it is, and I'll ask maybe a question underneath, and I'll say, all right, well, what is that? And then expand on that question, and then expand, and then from there, just keep like going down the rabbit hole. I also do mind mapping. Actually, I haven't done it in a while. I was doing that before, and that was helpful to me. Mind mapping, anybody can Google it. It's basically because I'm a visual person. So if you have an issue or if you have a problem or anything like that, you want to explore something, in the circle in the middle, you put whatever it is, like problem A, and then you draw a line, and then you put in different factors regarding that issue. Like what's the problem? It's this person, it's that, and you do little circles there, and then you note out certain things after the people, or like, well, what did they do? Sort of like how you said, like uncover that, and you branch out and it comes a web almost like out visually. So for business, you could put like whatever business and then contacts and sales and then you go strategy. You need a strategy, you need a marketing plan, For your personal things like, oh, what can I do? You can do this, and then node goes out. So it like sort of spiders out and visualize. It's called mind mapping. You can check that out. That's something
like
that
pros and cons, like almost like.
It's a way to put things down, get it all out, but in a visual way, really. But it can be pros and cons too. You could weigh out, it's pretty endless like what you could do, I think, with it. You can use it for different things. It's hard to explain.
It's like you identify the problem. Like you said, the problem is in the
circle. It's like in the middle. That's your main objective.
The problem is in the middle. The branches are
maybe reasons or whatever.
The reason the reason that problem occurred, the factors within that problem. And how could we fix that problem?
Yeah, and you could like branch it out so it has the people, the incidences that happened. There's many things that, and then you look at it like this, and then you kind of like see it and visualize it. I like that. I looked at different techniques here and there and do that, and that was helpful for me. To draw it out. And somebody that is a visual person and maybe an artist might benefit from something like that too. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But strategies like that, I think writing. You know what? Just that act of doing that will spark things, even if you don't put in action right away. You're at least uncovering things in your emotions and not just letting it go. Why do I feel this way? What happened? Why did it happen? And then just go down the line, but through questions. You like question each one and you dig a little bit deeper down the line.
Okay. Well, then honesty is going to be important because you can't just be making it up. Like, well, that only happened because of this. No, that happened because this is the real reason why it happened. Because you're not going to be honest, and that's probably going to.
You do it in a much better way with PERC, by the way. I mean, what I'm doing is very basic, and I'm just saying it as if somebody wanted to try a simple start, just right off the bat. To mind map or write a bit and then write under, and then. It's interesting, like things will be sort of surface level a lot of the time, and then you'll notice like your mind will start to go deeper, and then we'll expand more. Because when we're doing, I think like we tend to be in autopilot sometimes, and you're not. So when you look at things, certain people may not have that analytical brain, so it's very high level and surface level. So it's like and then that's it. But the more you do, I think certain exercises like that, the more then. You can uncover and practice.
Practice. What
does PERC stand for again?
Promoting effective, responsible choices.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. If we had more time, we dig into that. I think we should do an episode on PERC. Next time, and actually really focus on that and asking questions. What do you think, Mark?
Sounds good to me.
Because if we start that up now, I'd want to go go for hours. Any more material? I'm going to ask you that. I love it. You don't seem like you have much this time.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really prepared for it that way. I mean,
nah, it's all right.
But hold on. I wasn't reading something earlier.
Yeah, if you want to close it out with, and you said you also, you should do a podcast or record your spoken word too. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, we did.
No, but I don't know. Maybe I should try to explore it a little bit. Doing that, I was going to do a comedy routine. Remember, I asked Tatum too. Tatum's looking for something in his bag right now. That's why he's not responding. But we might sit down and Tatum might help me out. I did tell somebody that I would do one open mic. I don't know if I should do like a two minute and write it down. I'll try it. What the heck? Why not? Right? Yeah, like a comedy open mic. What do you think? I'm not that funny, right? We'll see.
No,
I would be if I wrote it and I prepared.
You never know.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
I could be funny.
Never know if you try.
I could be funny.
That's something you want to do. At least give it a try.
It's a thought right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What do you got? You got anything?
Somebody
I
asked
couldn't
me.
find it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but
so that's all right.
Yeah, because it's like so many things, different ones going into my head. But it's like I was talking about, just like the kids nowadays, it's like they're out here and then they making these wild decisions. I was like, but then you have the parents, and now they're living childless because the crazy decision that these kids are made, and now all this money that you saved for your child to go to school, now you're spending it on like a casket.
Yeah.
So it's like, I couldn't find it right now, but it's like,
No,
just
that's okay.
to get deeper into life, like, just like one decision affects another. One decision affects another. So make sure that you're making the right choices for yourself, because it's going to affect someone later down the line.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I think that we don't realize that sometimes, or think about the other person. You mentioned empathy, things like that. Just, the end results of our actions. And I think that because we have short memories. I mean, Tatum really, when the review comes at the end, the judge, I think you'd be very surprised how many people you've touched and also really helped out. We do it both ways. We forget what we did negatively and putting people down, but also, actually more so, we probably forget how many people, if we show love. Because I think that human nature, we always focus, or maybe it's the way the energy is of negativity, that we tend to lean towards focusing on that. Like the pain is way worse than the good times, or like things like that. I don't know. I think mentally, where I'm going with it, but
all of it starts within like your thoughts, like training your mind to think differently, whatever. It's not an easy process,
Not at all.
But it's helped me a lot, and it helps me to stay away from just negative thinking. I'm like, even something like simple as like, taking a trip to maybe AC, before you even get in the car, you're like, oh man, I hope it's not a lot of traffic. Oh man, I can't.
You're setting the tone right away. You're setting the tone.
Just leave all of that stuff alone. Like just take the trip. Like for real, it's going to be what it is any darn way. But you setting a tone for what you don't want already. It's like
It's like you putting it out there before you even get there.
Yeah, but switching habits too.
The manifestation. You're manifesting something before you even get to even start the journey to even get to the place.
You're putting yourself in a certain, well, I hope when we get here, I hope such and such is in there, like, and then they happen to be there. Now you already set the tone. Like now are you upset that he's here or not upset? Like, but you're setting a tone for yourself because you already bringing that negative vibe into your life.
And it's a waste of
subconsciously manifesting negativity.
Yeah. Without knowing it. Without even knowing it. It's like, well, why are you complaining? I'm not complaining. I just don't. You're just what? I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying, and that's a lot of people's words. Like, I'm just saying. Well, what are you saying actually? Please go deeper into it, because to me, it just sounds like you're just throwing it out there for something bad to just already happen already. That you're just, you like you say, you're manifesting it. So I try to stay away from a lot of that stuff.
I think little tweaks to habits too matter. And like, for example, if every single morning I get up, first thing I do is lean over and I take my phone out and I start reading the news, maybe that's negative, or flipping through TikTok or something like that. That's one of my habits in the morning, that I get up and I'm dehydrated and I go, or maybe just tweak that a little bit. When I get up, have a bottle of water by my bed, get hydrated right away. Instead of picking up the phone, wait a half hour, go to the table where there's a book of positive quotes. Read some positive quotes. Read, if you're somebody of faith, maybe some scripture, whatever faith.
Yeah.
If not, then, just things that, just like you would wake up and you wouldn't eat a cheeseburger and fry. Well, some people may, but like you need you know what I mean? Like just eating fries in the morning or whatever, like junk food. Yeah. You're literally doing that with your brain, because your brain is important and you can filter it.
Absolutely.
And do certain tasks and little things to trick yourself and program yourself into being optimistic. Because I would say, like, I'm a pretty optimistic person, but if I don't maintain doing things like that, I could start to like, it's not something that's natural all the time for me. It takes work. Yeah. It's not something that I just, You know what I mean? And I for sure have my moments, but it really, I think at times when I'm off that, I notice because if you instill such a discipline with it, like Kristen could tell you now, like it's been a few days since I've been off my routine and I'm just like always complaining about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta, you know, cause it's just a way.
Yeah.
I think it just sets a tone for me. Now, not everybody gets there. Everybody has their things, but I think trying something new.
It definitely takes time, you know,
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, like, even, you know, like you say, even spiritual, whatever, just because you show up at church doesn't mean that, you know, you're going to be the best Christian there is, you know, after you leave church, you know, like it's going to take time. It's going to take practice, but practicing what you preach, I mean, reaping what you sow, like for all of that, you know, true statements, like, you know, you're going to throw negativity out there, then negativity is going to come back to you. You're going to throw positivity out there, the positive vibes will come back to you. You know,
now, how do you feel about if you're throwing positivity out and you get a real negative response?
And this is the thing with people, because you have to let people be individuals, you know, like it's each his own, to each his own. Like you have to let them be individuals, even if you throw the most positive things out there to them, and they still just think, I don't think like that, or I don't see it like that. You know, you have to accept people for what they are.
In the late great,
I agree.
In the words of the late great DMX, he said a line. Nice. He was like, I forget how he started it, but he was like, expect the snake to bite you. You know, expect a dog to, you know, bite you or whatever. Expect people to be who they are, but know them when you see them.
Yeah, DMX was an interesting guy.
Yeah,
I've seen some of his stuff. Very deep, very spiritual person. Has an understanding of the devil. Saying, yeah, that's interesting. No, this is, you know, Tatum, another great sit down. I want to thank you so much for coming here, and I really like we talked about, would like to sit down more and really dig deep into PERC.
Okay.
And see what we can get into. Maybe get back to your history a little bit another time, or you know, I'm like I'm telling you you're coming on before you are, but you're welcome to. You know, this table is always open to you. We appreciate you, and Mark, always a pleasure, sir. Everyone, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us and listening, and you have a great rest of the evening or day. You guys take care.
All right.
Thank you for tuning in to Ride the Wave. It's been a pleasure having you with us as we explore ways to make a positive impact together. Remember, every little wave creates a ripple of change. We appreciate any support you can provide as we plan to build an all-inclusive, modern campus and empower communities. For details on how you can contribute through various platforms, please visit us at ridethewave.org. Until next time, keep riding the wave of change with us. I'm Jeff Fisher, signing off, but the journey continues.